Well, good day and welcome back to the channel as I have just seen Oppenheimer and, well, here's my review. The basic vibe of this film is basically set in the past when Dr. Robert Oppenheimer was asked to create the first atom bomb, and we see the development on how this team was put together, what they did to create the bomb, testing the bomb, the repercussions that happened afterwards, and how did it impact specifically Oppenheimer himself. Okay, so I've seen some early reviews of this film already, and everybody's walking out saying their mind has been blown. So just keep that in mind for the rest of my review, because I do not feel the same way. I'm actually trying to figure out where their minds were blown. And I mean that. First off, as we watch this film, they try to pack in a whole lot of information, in this whole runtime. They're really giving you years worth of information that's just been put into a couple of hours. Now, the problem I felt is that each scene is so monotonous, where everyone is speaking almost in the same tone, in the same way. There's not a lot of energy shift in people's emotions. It's always the same, to the point where every scene was exactly the same. The location may have changed, the characters in the scenes may have changed, but the tone, the tone as in how people speak, is completely the same all the way across, to the point where if you closed your eyes, you probably wouldn't even notice the scene change. You wouldn't even feel it. Now, that happens through most of the film, and through all the way up until like the midway point, there were times where I was kind of falling asleep. Now, that's not to say that I didn't find things intriguing or interesting. In fact, they talk a lot of science stuff. They talk about quantum physics and these are all things that I'm already familiar with in life. These are the things that I'm interested in my off time. My mind wasn't blown. So I'm curious to know whether or not the people whose minds were blown had a lot to do with the scientific revelations that were being presented to them on screen. But that didn't happen for me. And to add to the pain of the monotonous of this entire film, this film is basically made up of people talking. There's talking and talking, there's explaining, there's thinking, contemplating, there's challenges. They're really not doing anything throughout the film. They explain things, but they don't show much. They're literally in a room talking, and then they cut to another room where there's talking, and then they cut to another room and there's talking, and it goes on and on and on. The only time I was really engaged, really interested, is when they were actually working with the bomb, because that's when they were finally doing something. My heart was pumping at a few moments, because it was kind of cool. They were completely worried that if they set off the bomb, that the whole world would go off, because they didn't know. They've never done it before, but there were some scientific theories that made them think that that could actually happen. So it was kind of cool that they actually continued to do this research and continued to do all this, and to see their faces and to see their reactions when they're about to click the bomb for their first test ever. That was pretty awesome. Followed by that is a lot more talking and a lot more talking and then a lot more talking. Now, I did enjoy the film simply because I was interested in the story. I was interested in how it was all done, because this is history. Seeing the fear that goes into the man who has created this weapon that was going to kill innocent lives at some point in the future. Just releasing that bomb was not only going to kill your enemy, but it was inevitably going to kill innocent people. So that gave anxieties, fear about the future. I did find that the historical relevance of the film very interesting. But maybe if you are interested in seeing and getting to know the scientific aspects to this, maybe again, just like me, you would enjoy the actual historical relevance and the story of behind it, and in putting yourself into this human being who created this or got the team together to create this. Robert Downey Jr. is in here, and the way they put the makeup on him, I swear to you, I'm not kidding you, he looks exactly like my grandfather. That's my grandfather. That was my grandfather. I was watching my grandfather on screen. You know, there's some moments in the film where they do this black and white thing, and my memory of my grandfather is black and white photos. So it was really eerie, kind of cool at the same time. Anyway, that is my review for this. My mind was not blown. However, I did enjoy it. My overall feelings for this movie's vibe is, well, I was going to go with meh, just because it was that monotonous, but I wouldn't say it was flat. I am pretty satisfied with it because it was a cohesive film. It was well done, and I did find many aspects of it interesting, even if it was just in the way of conversations or explanations. But this is honestly one of those films where I think it's a great film. I'm walking away thinking this is a great film, but I don't think I can watch it again. But it does happen where I do appreciate a movie. I do think that it's a quality film and that it was well put together and that the story might be interesting, but at the same time, I wouldn't want to watch it again. It happens. Thank you very much, by the way. If you made it this far into this, then maybe this is worth a thumbs up for you. So I would appreciate your support if you made it this far. And I really do thank you very much for taking the time to spend it with me. And until next time, enjoy life. Take care, and I wish you well.